Mamyia versus Pentax. That's what we're talking about today. 6x7 medium format. You know the drill, you know the question, you know the cameras. I'm trying to figure out what's best for me. I think a lot of versus videos, they try to give you the answer, and I mean, let's be honest, they're both beautiful cameras. They both take beautiful pictures. Image quality, resolution, they're pretty much the same. And I think it depends a lot on the film type and the scanners that you're going to be using. So, practicality, usability, and what actually makes you feel like taking pictures. There's pros and cons. I'm not going to give you a definite answer to what you should do, but I hope to give some light on the subject and talk about it in a way that you can make an informed decision for yourself. So I've actually bought these cameras. They're both mine, and I'm just gonna be taking them out, using them. I'm here in my hometown out in the desert, California. You know how it goes. You've seen these videos, you know the photos, the compositions. Hopefully I can do my own take on it, but I'm really excited to be out here. The sun feels wonderful. Wasn't that cold of a winter in Utah, but it's just good to be out in the burning heat. Once again, coming back from church, so I'm not as preppy as I look today, I promise. Yeah, we're just gonna be taking a good look at these cameras and talking about what they're good at. Right, the first thing I want to talk about is loading film. I think it's a lot harder in the Mamyia, to be honest, than the Pentax. I always have a hard time getting it started. That being said, once it's started, I love having it in the backs, and interchangeable backs is so huge. So planning ahead, you can load up multiple backs, and so it takes longer to do the act, but you can prepare yourself if you're going out expedition. That's what I like to call my adventures. You can prepare yourself, and so in the field it's actually shorter, that is as long as you're loading up your backs beforehand, than the Pentax. So like usability, I'm gonna say it's harder to load up the Mamyia than the Pentax, and it takes longer. Like the practicality of having multiple backs is so nice about the Mamyia, so that wins. But as for you've shot all of your film, you need to get a shot really fast, but oh no, you need to roll another roll in your camera. The Pentax is going to be way easier to load up in that situation. Both of those things are things I come across very often. I think I know exactly how many rolls I'm going to shoot, and then I know the light's fading and I'm trying to shoot another roll. I'm going to assign points. I already said that. here with all these railroad spikes. Another thing that I like about the Mamyia is that you don't need a macro lens to focus up super close. So macro photography is a lot easier with the Mamyia than the Pentax. That being said, this shot where I'm like holding it like this is terrible. So you definitely need a tripod, I think, to take advantage of the macro on the Mamyia. And I hate having that. So getting a macro lens on the Pentax is worse, I think, because you have to get a macro dedicated lens and you have to remember to bring it. But to get the plus of macro on the Mamyia, you're probably gonna need a much better grip than I have or a tripod. One thing I love taking advantage of is the rotating back on the Mamyia. However, so that's a plus. It's the same sort of shooting experience if you're going to be doing landscape or portrait. However, you get when you're with the Pentax, you get the familiar ergonomics. So everyone's used to turning their camera for portrait and shooting landscape anyways. And it's super easy to do because it's just like using your regular SLR. So that's something else to think about, is rotating the back's nice if you're on a tripod. A lot of the times when you're doing tripod portrait shooting, I think that's easier on the Mamyia. Just rotate the back. However, if you're doing a lot of handheld shooting, I think it's a lot easier on the Pentax, switching up back and forth with the normal ergonomics.
Strawberry. Got this one all polished up.
Hey, Future Ethan jumping in really quick just to say that for this next part of the video, it's going to be focusing on the Pentax 67, but something I didn't mention as an advantage for the Pentax over the Mamyia is that the Pentax has up to 1,000th of a shutter speed, where the RB67 only has 1/400th of a second, and then a lot of the Pentax lenses actually have wider apertures. 105 2.4 right here just came in. I'm going to be doing a separate video just on that lens because it's awesome, but that's another thing just to think about. The shot that was right before this of those blueberries, it was a little bit blurry because of motion blur. They were moving around a lot in the wind. I was shooting at 1/400th of a second and it still wasn't fast enough to slow down that. So if I had the Pentax, then I would have been able to capture that moment just a little bit better. So if you are shooting fast moving subjects, so yeah, that's just something to think about when you're comparing these two. But if you're going to be needing faster shutter speeds, then the Pentax is definitely the way to go. I was driving, sorry, the cars are so loud. Driving to my parents' house on the way. We're in California, and look what I found. I'll zoom in on it, but it's the Nick Carver boat in the desert. I can't believe I found it. It's so cool to be here. I had the Pentax 67 and going to take some pictures of it, but I don't know, just so fun.
Well, I have one here that simply says, "I'm sailboat in a deteriorating shed in the middle of the desert." That's a pin that I've been looking to come back to for a while now, because there's a freaking sailboat that's going in the
Burger boy.
This is my second time recording the outro. In the first one I was going on and on. This is like the 5th time I'm recording this, so basically I just want to say I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're able to see the benefits of the Pentax 67 and the benefits of the Mamyia RB67. Either one, you're going to take great photos. They're wonderful cameras. When I was buying the film for this video, the guy at the Fine Lab said that 6x7 was the Lord's format, and I totally agree. I absolutely love it. I think it's going to be what all of my professional work is done on here on out, and so you can't go wrong with either camera. Kind of just giving a little summary. If you're used to 35mm and you want to just move up in format size for resolution, I would definitely go with the Pentax 67. And if you want kind of a whole new system to learn a whole new way of taking photos, dive into the Mamyia system. I hope you're able to learn something. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. And I have so many plans for this channel. We're just going to keep on getting better and better. Thanks so much, and today's going to be a great day.